హలో ఎవ్రీవన్, వెల్కమ్ బ్యాక్ టు హస్మైకా టాక్. లాస్ట్ వీడియోలో డిజిటల్ అసిస్టెంట్కి ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యే వారి కొరకు యాంప్లిట్యూడ్ మాడ్యులేషన్ అనే టాపిక్ నుండి కొన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్ బిట్స్ చూసాం కదండి. ఈ వీడియోలో ఫ్రీక్వెన్సీ మాడ్యులేషన్ అండ్ ఫేస్ మాడ్యులేషన్ నుండి కొన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్ బిట్స్ చూద్దాం. ఫస్ట్ బిట్, ఎఫ్ఎం మీన్స్ frequency modulation means the frequency of the carrier wave is varied according to the modulating signal. The frequency of the carrier wave is varied according to the modulating signal. Next bit, FM signal is better than AM signal because FM signal is better than AM signal because less immune to noise. Next bit, modulation index of FM is given by modulation index of FM is given by the ratio of frequency deviation to the modulating frequency. The ratio of frequency deviation to the modulating frequency. Next bit, a 100 megahertz carrier frequency is frequency modulated by 10 kilohertz wave for a frequency deviation of 50 kilohertz. Calculate the modulation index of the FM signal. Okay, here find the modulation index. Frequency deviation is represented by 50 kilohertz and modulating frequency 10 kilohertz. Then modulation index equal to delta F by FM. Sorry, here delta is not correct. Delta FM. Then 50 kilohertz by 10 kilohertz is equal to 5 kilohertz is the modulation index. Next bit, the amount of frequency deviation in FM signal depends on amplitude of the modulating signal. The amount of frequency deviation in FM signal depends on amplitude of the modulating signal. Next bit, sensitivity is defined as ability of receiver to amplify weak signals. Ability of receiver to amplify weak signals. Next bit, in radio receiver, varactor diodes are used for. In radio receiver, varactor diodes are used for tuning. Next bit, Armstrong method is used for the generation of indirect frequency modulation. Next bit, carrier swing is defined as the total variation in frequency from the lowest to the highest point. The total variation in frequency from the lowest to the highest point. Next bit, PLL can be used as, PLL is the phase lock loop. Phase lock loop can be used as FM demodulator. Next bit, Carson's rule is used to calculate bandwidth of FM. Next bit, pre-emphasis is done for boosting of modulating signal voltage. Next bit, de-emphasis is restoring of original signal power. Next bit, the transmitted power in an FM system is always constant. Next bit, what is the maximum frequency deviation allowed in commercial FM broadcasting? What is the maximum frequency deviation allowed in commercial FM broadcasting? Is 75 kilohertz. Next bit, what is the maximum modulating frequency allowed in commercial FM broadcasting? What is the maximum modulating frequency allowed in commercial FM broadcasting is 15 kilohertz. Here 15th question is the maximum frequency deviation allowed in commercial FM, 75 kilohertz. And 16th question, maximum modulating frequency allowed in commercial FM broadcasting is 15 kilohertz. See the difference between 15th question and 16th question. Next bit, the ratio of actual frequency deviation to the maximum allowable frequency deviation is called. The ratio of actual frequency deviation to the maximum allowable frequency deviation is called percentage modulation. Next bit, the range of modulating frequency for narrowband FM is 30 Hz to 3 kHz. Next bit, the modulation index of a wideband FM system is greater than 1. Next bit, determine the bandwidth of a FM wave when the maximum deviation allowed is 75 kHz and the modulating has a frequency of 10 kHz. Determine the bandwidth of a FM wave when the maximum deviation allowed is 75 kHz and the modulating has a frequency of 10 kHz. Then bandwidth of FM equal to 2 of delta F plus FM. Delta FM is the 75 kHz and FM is the 10 kHz. Then 2 of 85 kHz is equal to 170 kHz. Next question. A 100 MHz carrier is frequency modulated by 5 kHz wave for a frequency deviation of 100 kHz. Calculate the carrier swing of the FM signal. Then carrier swing of the FM signal equal to 2 into delta F. Delta F is the 100 kHz. 2 into 100 equal to 200 kHz. Next bit. In PM, the information transmitted using change in phase of the carrier. Next bit, noise immunity of phase modulation is better than AM but worse than frequency modulation. Next bit, the frequency deviation in phase modulation is proportional to. The frequency deviation in phase modulation is proportional to modulating frequency and voltage. Next bit, amplitude of phase modulation wave is. Amplitude of phase modulation wave is remains constant. ఈ వీడియో మీకు నచ్చినట్లయితే లైక్ చేయండి, షేర్ చేయండి అండ్ సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేయండి. థ్యాంక్స్ ఫర్ వాచింగ్.